What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is September 19th, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I have my massive haul here of 41 with 28 different titles. A lot of spec purchases this week. Congratulations to Timothy, Canadian Comic Hunter. You're the lucky winner of last week's Black Panther free digital giveaway. Timothy has been a long-time supporter of my channel. He came on the scene pretty much right when I did back in 2016. Man, he soaked up all that knowledge and he gave it all back to the community right off the bat. Put his link down below, please check him out. Hey Timothy, I sent you a comment with my email, please get back to me. For this week's free digital giveaway, I will be giving away Spider-Man Homecoming. Great movie. All you have to do to enter is you have to be 18 with parental consent, and please give a thumbs up to this video and comment, I want Spider-Man. Starting off on the DC side, Justice League. Have the cover A and was able to pick up one of the cover Bs of Jim Lee's detailed, man, this is like Jim Lee back at his prime, man, beautiful cover. So Joker face, cover B. Justice League, as I said before, man, huge epic feel to it. Oh man, love it. They really set up a lot of storyline here, going back into Lex Luthor teaming up with surprise appearance from the Joker Who Laughs, man. Or I'm sorry, the Batman Who Laughs. Great storyline they're right about to set up, man. This entire issue is really them kind of dialoguing back and forth, and the Batman Who Laughs really telling him what's going on here. So yeah, love it. Check it out, Justice League. Picked up 3 of the Joshua Middleton cover A of Aquaman 40. So I'm not reading the storyline. This is really right about to set up the new storyline. What is it? Throne of Atlantis? Something of Atlantis? I'll put it down below, but yeah, beautiful cover, man. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I saw this is going for like an average of like $17 online already as of today. Just came out today. But yeah, beautiful cover. This one is in my PC. The other 2 will be going to the spec box. Teen Titans number 22. So this one is really the aftermath of Roundhouse, one of the new people they actually introduced, brand new to the team in issue number, what was it, 21? Yeah, 21. He actually died at the very end of that last issue, really stepped up to be a hero and really sacrificed himself. So this is the team kind of dealing with it, each one kind of dealing with it in their own way, still trying to form a team in its entirety, with Red Arrow kind of training them up to the point to where Robin's going to step in and kind of take over the rest of the training. But man, excellent dialogue all the way through, really them trying to gel as a team. Love this title, Teen Titans. Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. Grew up with He-Man, had all the toys, Castle Grayskull, everything. Loved it, man. So this, you know, kind of combines that comic book world with He-Man. I forgot which, they're on Eternia, but I forgot which which universe they actually said this multiverse was in. But yeah, if you're a fan of both of them, highly suggest where you pick this one up. Love the artwork to go along with it. You know, I'd give this one maybe like a 3.75 out of 5. Love it. Damage. So one of the new age of heroes. So Damage really kind of fell off. He started strong and the character development kind of just, you know, went down to, subpar in my opinion. Artwork at the same time. This one issue somehow kind of started turning it around for me. I really enjoyed this one issue. So the artwork is a lot better, you know, tremendous improvement from what it was in the last 2 or 3 issues, I believe. And the action and dialogue in here was pretty decent as well. So I hear they're going to kind of kill him off, but this one issue kind of started turning it around for me, to tell you the truth. So yeah, Damage number 9. I was going to ride it out to the end. Moving on to the Marvel side, Return of Wolverine. So Wolverine, by far, my #1 hero lifetime ever. So I got out of comics back in 1999, and it was actually the death of Wolverine is what brought me back to comics. I went to go check out on YouTube how he died. I was very, very curious, you know, him being my #1 hero ever. And that's what really got me into YouTube, got me back into comics, got me, you know, making these videos on YouTube eventually a couple years later. So yeah, man, everything really focused around Logan, the original Wolverine. So happy to read, you know, news stories about him, you know, right away, man. Love it, man, love it. So yeah, he's finally back. You know, his new claws are around his fire claws. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. If you're into Wolverine, definitely check this one out. Like, he's fully back. This entire storyline is all about Logan. So yeah, definitely check this one out. This one came with like 50 different covers. This was just cover A. So yeah, Return of the Wolverine. Avengers. So always going to be compared to Justice League, you know, the two big superhero team powerhouses. Another one that's completely epic feel to it. Avengers was set up just a little bit more, you know, going all the way back to Legacy, how they kind of started planting little Easter eggs along the way. Jason Aaron, man, great writer in my opinion. So yeah, the artwork in this one kind of stepped up as well, you know, from the previous couple issues, you know, just from recollection. It seemed like it was kind of inconsistent. But yeah, this one was really good. The dialogue between Tony Stark, let me find that, and here you go. This was my most favorite part of the storyline between Captain Marvel and Tony Stark. Dialogue between the two, you know, they went all at each other during Civil War II. So this is kind of like rehashing that, what happened, and like, hey, you know, please join the team. And, you know, surprisingly, she actually, she said yes with a couple little fight at the end. But man, love how they draw her. You know, she's kind of drawn completely different, more of a Greg Capullo, I think, female feel to it. But yeah, love the Avengers, love Justice League. I mean, both great in their own right, but yeah, Avengers. Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. So again, love the family aspect of it. You know, anime, growing up as part of the superhero family, man, love it. So this one kind of near concludes the Mr. Sinister storyline. You had the 90s X-Men, who was part of this world that this kind of happens in, separate from the Earth 616. But yeah, great, you know, kind of like a teenage fun action feel to it. So yeah, check it out if you're into it. Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. XMen Gold. I really enjoyed this issue. This is kind of like a little standalone issue. It's going to continue on, or maybe conclude in the next issue. But this really took me back to like the Chris Claremont like feel to it. So this one kind of centers around, you have the new team, you know, led by Kitty Pryde. And there is, Cerebro finds a Omega level mutant who just, you know, he's a teenager. He woke up this morning and he has his powers, Omega level, to where he could destroy, you know, this entire neighborhood, destroy Earth, you know, depending how strong he actually is. So the team comes in and this is how they deal with it. And it really took it all the way back to, this is how they deal with mutants uprising, how the mutants are always different, you know, that nerdy aspect, and why the X-Men are kind of the outcast that I guess rejects of society kind of always gravitated towards. And, you know, this is why, because they're always different, how humanity kind of perceives the mutants as a species in general. So yeah, really enjoy this one issue, how they really deal with mutants, you know, emerging into the world. Loved it. XMen Gold. Thor. Great storyline. So what you have here is, which they introduced in the last issue, or actually I think someone said it was actually Thor #1, which I did not recall, but you actually have Logan, who in the future actually becomes Old Man Logan and becomes the Phoenix. Goes now by the name of, I believe, Cosmic Berserker. So again, his first appearance was not the last issue. I believe it's actually Thor #1 is what someone said online somewhere, I believe. So yeah, please check that out, or please verify that down below. But very cool fight between the future Thor and the Phoenix Old Man Logan, man. Great fight, great dialogue, loved it. Again, you know, Logan was one of my favorites of all time. Great to see like another version of him here. So yeah, Thor #5. Infinity Wars, this was the Soldier Supreme, like amalgam mashup, when Gamora folded time in on itself, kind of created these separate characters. Each one of them had a one-shot or a couple issues, depending who it was. This was really the only one I was interested in. This had like a what if, you know, DC Marvel amalgam, like one-shot kind of feel to it. And I thought the artwork was very good. You know, the storyline I thought made some pretty decent sense. You know, they're probably not going to do anything with this character, you know, going forward. But yeah, if you're into Doctor Strange, Captain America, man, great mashup, man. I really enjoyed reading through this one issue. Kind of felt as like one, you know, standalone, but let me flip to the end, and this one actually had, I think, 2 issues of this one. So yeah, where is that one? Yeah, Soldier Supreme #2. So yeah, so I think Sleepwalker is the only one that had 4 issues. Everyone else stopped at #2. So yeah, Soldier Supreme. Star Wars. Yet another title to where, you know, again, if you are a Star Wars fan, I highly suggest for you to try to pick these up and trade, at least to try to get into the storylines. And man, very, you know, action-packed. I feel they really took the essence of the original Star Wars episodes, and here you go on paper. You know, great transition in my opinion. This one story is really like a heist to kind of finish off this little storyline. On the same ship with Vader, rebel troops on the actual Imperial Star Destroyer that Vader is on, hunting them down, man. Love it, man. Great feel to it. So yeah, if you're into Star Wars, definitely check it out. Spider-Geddon. So I saw this one was on fire, man, before it even came out. So I picked up 3 copies of this one total. I saw this one maybe like averaging like $17 online, I think, or 20. So yeah, if you see this one on the rack, definitely pick it up. So this one introduced yet another, you know, Spider-Man from another universe, and this one was a little bit different. Spider-Man in this universe, Peter Parker, is 13 years old. His Uncle Ben is actually still alive, and they go into some of the history here, but they both actually picked up the Spider-Man power. So they kind of fight as a team, and man, this one had a good emotional feel to it. And you kind of see, you know, Uncle Ben kind of get off his moral compass, kind of went astray for a while, and Peter Parker is really his moral compass, so to speak, kind of keeps him in check. So yeah, pretty cool team, you know, different dynamic than what's ever been out there before. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I was not even going to pick this one up, so shout out to Jim Comics, man. I think he put a little his video for coming out this week. I think this was one of his hot buys. So yeah, man, Edge of Spider-Geddon. Venom First Host. So picked up cover A and also picked up cover B. So yeah, man, love this cover B. So I saw this one's pretty hot as well. I think going for maybe like $10 online. So this one introduces, or I'm sorry, I guess a full appearance. Venom had to merge with an offspring, so to speak. So this was kind of like the first full appearance, and you know, although it looks different, this was supposed to be the first full appearance, cover appearance. Although it looks completely different, so a little bit confused with that, to tell you the truth. But reading through the storyline, you know, pretty decent overall, but you know, not as good as Venom by any means. But this one had a decent storyline. So yeah, if you're into Venom, pick this one up. A little bit of a spec buy, but man, look out for this one cover here, man. Beautiful. Venom #6 by Donny Cates. This title, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So I picked up a cover B as well, which was the Cosmic Ghost Rider, I guess homage, or I'm sorry, tribute. So again, Venom #6, anything by Donny Cates. I mean, Donny Cates completely on fire. The artwork to go along with this Venom, man, loved it, absolutely loved it. So this was really the final fight between Anon and our hero Eddie Brock and Venom. Won't give away the very end, but man, you know, very, very tragic. Sacrifices are made. You know, I'll just kind of leave it at that. Great battle scene. Really built it up to this one battle scene. Great job, Donnie. Great job. So yeah, Venom #6. Picked up the second printing of Venom #5. So this is where he gets his new powers, his ability to fly. Different covers, the second printings are getting hotter and hotter. So I think I saw these going for maybe $10, and we'll see where it lands up by, you know, Friday. But yeah, I picked up 3 copies, second printing of Venom #5. Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1. So I was not really looking to pick this one up. I had my eye out for the incentives. The Gabriel Dell'Otto, absolutely beautiful, man. Also picked up 2 copies of this was the video game variant. I think this is going for maybe like $8 or $10 online. But man, nothing in comparison to the Gabriel Dell'Otto, man. Loved it, dude. Okay, so was not expecting too much for these storylines. A lot of these annuals are just one-shot storylines. Really got to have a lot of love for the character to, really enjoy these storylines they put out on an annual basis. However, man, this one blew me away. This one really gave the backstory of when Peter Parker when he went to Secret Wars 2, and he brought back the symbiote originally, before he knew what it was. Reed Richards was just analyzing it, started figuring out that, hey, this thing could actually be a parasite. It's alive. Hey, Peter, you should probably get it off you. And this is when, things went awry. Originally, Peter was going to sleep and waking up just feeling really, really tired. They didn't tell you what was going on, but this is really the story of what the symbiote was doing in the background. And, come to find out, the symbiote had no evil intent whatsoever. He was able to scan Peter Parker's mind, and he knew that Peter Parker was like a good guy, like a good hero, but he had mental conflict, and the symbiote was able to sense that. And that's why the symbiote, gave reasoning to where the symbiote took Peter Parker's body out at nighttime, to where Peter Parker wouldn't have to mess with any mental issues, and the symbiote would just be the hero at nighttime. So the symbiote thought it was doing good. Won't tell you how it ends. Well, you know how it ends, but won't give away any more of that storyline. I will say, if you are a Venom fan, I feel that this is a must-have story. Every Venom fan must read through this, in my opinion. Like, this is kind of like where he all started. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. Definitely check out that storyline. Moving on to Image 7 to Eternity. Jerome Opeña's art, freaking phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. Love Rick Remender's storyline, so, please don't get me wrong. The storyline is great, but man, the artwork by Jerome Opeña, man, any cover that he does, and anytime he does interior art, man, just mind-blowing. So yeah, definitely a master at the fantasy sci-fi art, man. He has just mastered that. So yeah, again, great storyline, kind of like a sci-fi fantasy, perfect mix to it, the perfect amount of action and magic, but with beautiful artwork to go along with it. So yeah, 7 to Eternity, number 11. Burnouts. So yeah, picked up one of the uncensored, kind of covered it up, but you clearly tell what she was saying, or he was saying, with her gesture. But Burnouts, anything 420 friendly, I normally pick up. So this one, kind of a quirky, offbeat type of storyline. In this one here, there's aliens. And if you get stoned, you are able to see them. So Burnouts is really like the Burnout class. This is all high school based. A big party happens. Aliens are there. Apparently there's a small group, the Burnouts, who are always stoned, who have always seen these aliens. So they kind of come in and start busting up some of the alien heads. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Again, anything 420 friendly, I typically pick up. So yeah, Burnouts. Crude. So a mafia type of storyline, Russian mafia. I normally stay away from the mobster type of storylines. The artwork and the quick pacing of it really got me, man. I really enjoyed the storyline. Big twist. So, most of those mafia storylines, you have those big hitters, all the way through, but this was really more emotional in my opinion. The main character finds, some dark history of his own son that he never really realized, he never really knew. And this is really him coping with it. He definitely gets his revenge, but this is him really coping with it at the very end. And I thought it was pretty, very, very emotional, great storyline. So if you have not checked it out, if you're into the Russian mob type of scene, check this one out, Crude. That one concluded right there at number 6. Ice Cream Man, issue number 7. So this is typically a anthology to where every single storyline, the first couple ones had a couple storylines mixed in it, but typically it's one storyline per issue. Along the way, just like Tales from the Crypt, you have the Crypt Keeper, who is basically giving you like the lead in to the next story and kind of summarizing the storyline, the weird moral that may be there in the story somehow, some way. And you get on to the next one. So the Crypt Keeper, you know, in that Tales from the Crypt is really just a master of ceremony, like an MC setting up the storyline. Ice Cream Man is very akin to the Crypt Keeper, except here he's really part of the storyline. So you get a little bit more history, a little bit more background, and this guy is very, very demented. At the very beginning, you don't know like what he's doing. You know, you don't really know if he has ill intent or not, but this one really defines that he is really after these humans just for fun. So yeah, pretty cool storyline, really building on the Ice Cream Man himself. You know, you don't get as much background in previous issues as what you do here in number 7. So yeah, really enjoy this. Ice Cream Man number 7. Curse words. Charles Soule, Ryan Brown. Man, I love this team. I forgot the last, I think it was, what was it? Astronauts, Gods and Astronauts, I think is what the title was. Man, so I love that title. And this one really had the same feel to it. A lot of magic based. I love how Ruby, Stitch, and Wizard finally teamed up. They've been fighting forever, and I guess they really found out that Margaret, that little animal who changes into different animals along the way, is really their child somehow. I don't know if she was made by magic, or I don't know. They haven't really gone into that, but I guess because of that, they're kind of putting their differences aside and looking to start a business to get together and introducing magic to the world, essentially. So yeah. Interested in seeing where this one goes. They completely kind of changed the storyline and really enjoy it. So yeah, curse words. Got one from Aftershock, The Lost City Explorers. So this was that a different type of storyline about Atlantis, like a retelling of what it really was. So this was kind of been like a little bit of a slow burn, you know, a lot of character development along the way. The end of this issue, you finally get to Atlantis. You know, you're finally here. They go through the portal. And the next issue, I guess we'll find out, you know, what Atlantis really is. And it seems like, you know, alien technology, you know, maybe something from the future that came back into the past. Don't know, but yeah, very intriguing. So, you know, makes you want to read that number 5. So yeah, Lost City of Explorers, number 4. Picked up one from Boom Studios, Black Badge. Love that first issue. Great setup so far. So you have the overachieve maybe overzealous type of Boy Scouts who went through various trials, and once they got to like the very final trial, come to find out they were incorporated into a military type of team, and they've been in operation for, I guess, maybe like a generation or so. So this here is the main team that they introduced in number 1, who's actually teaming up with a Canadian team. So yeah, very, very cool concept. Great artwork to go along with it, in my opinion. I love the hard line along with the watercolor painting. Coloring. So yeah, love it. So yeah, pretty cool. Love that secret mission, but with the teenagers as the main heroes. So yeah, Black Badge. Picked up one from Dark Horse, Ether Copper Golems. So this number 5 actually concludes the second story arc. And you know, that first one was a little bit different from the second story arc. Although the artwork looks whimsical, the storyline is actually pretty dark. There's some humor kind of spread out throughout the storyline, but overall, man, very, very dark. This one finishes up kind of like how episode, what was it? That would be episode number 5, Empire Strikes Back. How at the very end, man, like, you know, Luke gets his hand chopped off, finds out Vader is his father. The rebels basically lose at the very end of Empire Strikes Back, and they come back, you know, win in Return of the Jedi. This one here, very, you know, same feel. So this closes up arc number 2. Very, very dark. Like, this guy loses. I mean, it's very, very dark. I won't get into it, but yeah, check it out. Ether Copper Golems. This is the second arc of the Ether title so far. Picked up one from Titan, Bloodborne. So this is based off the video game, that Bloodborne number 1. That thing like took off. I think it was going for like $20 or $30 online. Very cool artwork, the interior artwork to go along with the storyline. You know, I would say this is maybe like a 4.75, just due to the storyline. It really, man, really merges together very, very well. So yeah, if you're into the horror, this video game, you know, I'd never played a video game, but the storyline, you know, I thought made pretty good sense, followed it pretty well, pretty good action. So yeah, check it out, Bloodborne. Picked up one from Valiant Britannia. Love the artwork that's in here, and you know, I really enjoy the period piece there. So if you're into the Roman Empire, I would say definitely check this one out. If you're not into the Roman Empire, you know, this is very, very passable. But I feel they did a great job, you know, giving the Romans respect, and a little bit of historical references all throughout. So yeah, really enjoy that one. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Please recall my free giveaway for this week, which is Spider-Man. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.